Hi, I'm Geoffrey Semaganda, and I have a question for Moses. Moses is part of my mentorship program. I usually work with 5 people over 90 days to help their company from where they are to where they want to go or want to step up to another level. And Moses asked a question: how can he make sure his company will be here 10, 20 years from now? Well, Moses, is a fantastic question. I'd like to answer it. And so I can share this answer with many people. And those who want to add some comments are more than welcome to comment below. But Moses, usually the whole idea of a business is to give you life. Most entrepreneurs, the reason they set up the businesses is to have freedom. Freedom to do what they want, whenever they want, and how they want. But unfortunately, most businesses, they don't have that option. There's one thing they don't have, is freedom. They started as a business, they were in control of their businesses. As time goes on, the business takes over, the business is in control. The other thing is, if those business owners that were to walk away from their company for just 3 to 6 months, they'll come back when the company is not more, it's closed, because the company is relying on them. And that's the worst place to be. You need, if you're a business owner and you're watching this, and you know you cannot walk away from your business for more than 3 months or 6 months, then you need to think of changing that business model to be able to be here, whether you're here or not. And that's will only start that from day one, you need to think of a picture of how your business should look like when it's done. So just imagine, if you imagine your company, when you reach the ultimate goal, how big should it be? What be its turnover? How many branches should it have? How many employees should it have? How many countries should it be? And what country should it be in? So that from day one, you understand it's not about you. You understand that you're not going to be in 100 branches at a time. So you're going to be concentrating on putting systems in place to make sure that you can actually employ average people to come and work super average systems to make sure whether you're around or anybody who is so important in your company is around or not around, your company still grow. Most businesses, they say, I have this guy, is very good at that. He's keeping my company afloat. But when the guy goes, the company collapses. You can't afford to do that. You see, know the picture. Understand how your business should look like. From day one, start by communicating that picture to the people you want to communicate with to help you put that picture become a reality. And those people will see that the picture and the cake is big enough for everybody to share. You see, not everybody can become an entrepreneur and set up a company. But a lot of people are prepared to work with a good entrepreneur, good people who want to go to higher ground, they want to go with them. So with that, you'll attract the right people because they already see the vision of this image. The vision is clear, the people who work for you be able to work for you because sometimes it's much easier to work on somebody's dream than create your own dream because it's not easy to walk by faith, all the time. That's what happens to most entrepreneurs. They don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. That's what happens with all leaders. They don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but they pretend, they put in this persona that they know what they're doing, but they actually don't know. One thing they do know though, they do know exactly where they're heading. They can dream it, they can visualize, they can see it. Once you can do that, you need to communicate that with people and start putting systems in place that allows you to do so. There's so many different books on systems, a subject. And you can go on Google and Amazon and find some of those books. But just understand that make sure whatever you set up is duplicatable. And all you need to look for is people who are ambitious, are teachable, they can come in trained to those systems and be able to run your business whether you're there or not. Now this question is not a simple one. I can't just answer it in a 2-3 minutes video recording. But what I can say is that just remember, a business should give you a life instead of taking the life you have away from you. Have that in mind. You are not the owner of a business. You work for that business. You might end up being in all areas of your department. If you want to work in the marketing, you're not the owner. You work in marketing. You're setting up systems that should be average, that anybody can come in decent people who qualify can come in and follow that system. So you don't rely on them, you rely on systems. You can be in operation at sometimes. You're not the owner. You're in operations. And treat everybody in the same way because you don't want to be in operation, you are the owner of the company. Because then you become them and us. So you need to work there and make sure you're putting systems to make sure when you're there, not there, someone else can come and take over. Then finance. Finance also, and you don't go there and say, I'm the owner. You work in finance at a given time. Obviously, when you are the CEO and chairman or the president of the company, you're the owner. You have to think of that company strategically as tactically. But what you need to be aware that, aware of, that whatever you do, make sure it's duplicatable. Make sure you have the ability to communicate that image of how your business should look like when it's done to all people who are concerned, who are interested in the development of taking your business to that stage. When the cake is big enough, people, they can see, they can always have a piece. Not everybody will become an entrepreneur, but a lot of people prepare to work with good entrepreneurs to help them go to the higher ground with them. That's something I believe you can do. There's so many books on the subject. Go and find them. Go on Amazon and type on systems for businesses. Many books basically come up. Read them, study them, understand them. Just remember, it's not about you. You should be able to walk away from that company 6 months down the road, and when you come back, it's still there. If you ever heard of a company called McDonald's, McDonald's is a fast food company. It started from the United States. This company employs kids. Kids you can't even trust to clean their room. But this company been growing. There's a time when McDonald's was actually launching a new restaurant every day for 10 years. Their personnel turnover, people come and go, was at a 300% turnover personnel. But the company was opening a new restaurant every single day for more than 10 years. I give you some idea how powerful systems can be, that even kids can run a corporation is as big as McDonald's because they understand systems. Just an example. Study so many systems. Be aware that your company can be started in the same way. And as long as you understand it's not about you, it's not you to be in 100% at a given time, you will start doing the right thing. And the final tip I need to give you, every year bring in the valuers, people who are good at valuing companies, so they can tell you how much your company is worth today. So that next year do the same thing and then make a decision. Will the value go down or the value went up? If the value went up, keep doing what you're doing, because the value going up every year, then you should own that company. It's yours because it's making you wealthier every day. But if the value is going down, figure out why it's going down and trying to learn what you need to do to make sure the value start going up. Or get rid of that business. Sell it on to someone else who will not know, because people buy anything. Okay? Sell it to someone else or get rid of it and do something you'll be making you wealthy. A lot of small businesses do not evaluate their companies. And they get emotional attachment and say, this is my company. The business is going down. They're selling all the assets to keep feeding this thing. It's not going anywhere. It's no future. Bring in a valuer to value your company to make sure they can tell you either you're buying it or you should sell it to someone else. You see, every single business is for sale. The question is, who's buying it? Are you buying it or someone else is buying it? And if you're buying it, make sure it's the right price you're paying for it. Because with small businesses, the price sometimes is too high to pay. Financially, emotionally, physically, your families pay the ultimate price because you're too busy running our businesses. There's no simple answer to this, but what I can say is when you start that in mind, if you have some more questions, want to work with me to help you create systems in place, you're more than welcome to email me or find me, and I'm more than happy to work with you and help you move from where you were to take you to another level of a business, have systems that you can walk away from it and you still stay as a company. That way, there's hope that you can be here 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. It's a bigger subject and I can't just cover it in a few minutes. However, I thank you for the question and I hope you can go and do some research. Remember, systems are more important than people. You don't need to manage people, you need to manage systems. When you do that, it's quite easy to duplicate your company to move where it is, the way it should be. Think about it. If you have any questions, get back to me. If you have any comment, please, you're more than welcome to comment on it. Until next time, God bless you. Take care of yourself. Goodbye for now.